guys, I wanted to pop in for a quick update video. I haven't been making videos because fame and thesis, and so I've been really stressed. I figured out a few things though today, and I just thought I would give you a little update about everything that's going on. So right now I'm 33 weeks pregnant, and I'll try and do a little bump shot at the end of the video. I always forget to do that, but I will try to remember. Pregnancy is getting real at this point. Like, it is getting tough to sleep. Like, I wake up multiple times in the middle of the night, either just because I'm uncomfortable or because I really have to pee, and then it's hard to like get out of bed. I have to like do like this weird ninja roll flip thing to get out of bed and go to the bathroom and come back. And so yeah, it's getting a little bit rough. The other day I was like so proud that I had not had any like ankle or feet swelling. And then I was sitting on the couch with my husband, and I had my feet up on the coffee table. We were watching like an NBA game, and I just looked down at my feet and I was like, oh, dang it, look how fat my feet look. Like, oh man, they were definitely swollen. So it's not anything super intense. It usually just happens at the end of the day, but I was like, ah, all right. I have been getting heartburn also. Like, I can't eat very much at a time, you know, because I mean, your stomach is just like right here and it doesn't have very much room. So eating is like not that much fun because you just don't feel very good after you eat. So I am starting to feel a little bit uncomfortable, but it's still like so exciting. I mean, I can feel him moving all the time. I kind of know his pattern. At 10:30 every night, I know that he's gonna start like majorly kicking. That's when he's like super hyper. 7th period, he's also really hyper. And so it's kind of fun, like just getting to know his little schedule, and I'm getting really excited to finally meet him. I can't wait. We saw some 3D ultrasound pictures, and then even just the regular ultrasound that I got at my last appointment. His eye was open and I could see his eye so clearly. It was like the coolest thing ever. So I mean, this is like a cool time to be pregnant because we have all this technology, and you feel like you kind of know what your baby's gonna look like, and you're just like, you know, you can just imagine it even more. So that's really cool. I have nothing set up for the baby. I have nothing organized. We haven't had the baby shower yet or anything like that. So I'm kind of waiting to see what we get, and we need to get like a dresser. We have a crib, but we haven't put it together because he's not gonna really use that for quite a while anyway. So he's just gonna be in our room. But yeah, I need to start figuring that out very soon too. I need to get like the car seat, but again, all that stuff I'm like waiting for the baby shower. So I don't know, it seems kind of smart now to have the baby shower a little bit earlier in your pregnancy, not having mine till I'm like 35 weeks and then the other one till I'm 38 weeks. So in hindsight, that might not have been the best decision, but I'm still excited for them. Okay, so mainly I wanted to make this video for any of you pregnant mamas out there who are teaching and also like in grad school at the same time. Quite a few people have commented like on my videos or like Instagram, and you're in the same boat, and it is really hard. So like my first piece of advice would be, don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. Like, I am not an example. I am a cautionary tale. Don't do what I did. It's really hard. But if you're already in this situation and you just have to make the best of it, here's kind of how it's going for me. It's impossible. There's not enough time to do everything that you need to do. So I've had to use some of my sick days as writing days and just stay home and sit in front of my computer and just type all day long. That's rough when you're pregnant because you want those days for later when you have your baby. And so it kills me anytime I have to take a day off for anything besides the baby. So I'm like, ugh, I'm gonna wish that I had this day later. I am super behind on grading and curriculum and all of that. Like, this is not my best teaching year. I'm glad that this is my 4th year teaching though, and so I kind of like, I'm able to still do a good job. I feel like my kids are still getting a good education, and I'm pretty organized, and I know like what's coming up, and I'm able to get things done. But man, if this were like my 1st year or 2nd year teaching, this would be super rough. So thank goodness I'm like skilled enough at this point that I can throw things together a little bit quicker. But yeah, it's just not the best work I've ever done in my life. Grad school wise, here is one of the hardest just logistical things. If you are getting a master's in something, you know, where you have to write a thesis, that's all I have left to do, is just to finish this ridiculous thesis. You do a lot of research and a lot of writing, and you need to spend like 8 to 10 hour chunks of time to get that done. And sometimes it helps to go to like Starbucks, or I used to just go to the library and just not leave the library all day long until it closed, and just write there, because it kind of, you know, keeps you from getting distracted and everything. But this is the problem. When you are pregnant, you have to pee every 30 minutes. So it's hard to go to Starbucks and like try and claim your table, because you don't want to leave like your laptop and everything open and like go to the bathroom. Like, so then you want to take everything with you, but then somebody could take your table. And then the same thing at the library at school. You never want to leave like your textbooks and stuff out. You don't want to leave your computer out. But the bathrooms are never all that close to, you know, like a place where you can sit and study and write. So you have to pack up everything, go to the bathroom, and then like go find a new spot. And that's, I did try it a couple times, and I was like, this is just not happening. So I work here, which is a lovely little space to work in, but when you're at home, you know, you just get distracted by more things. So it is a little bit tough. I don't feel like I'm as productive. And then plus I'm just constantly taking a break to go to the bathroom, taking a break to get a drink or to get a snack. And like my butt hurts all the time, like my tailbone. So it's kind of hard to sit for super long periods of time, and I have this belly in the way and everything. So it's just not as easy to do what I used to do. I can't pull all-nighters anymore. I get tired faster. When I drink a bunch of caffeine, which is what I used to do, then the baby really feels it and he kicks like crazy. And so it's like very distracting. Like I'm sitting there trying to get work done and he's like punching me in my organs, and I'm like, okay. So logistically, it's just not easy to work while you're pregnant. It turns out actually too that I just didn't keep track of all the deadlines that I was supposed to. I thought that I did, and I forgot a really giant one. I forgot about defending my thesis. I forgot to set that up with my thesis committee, and I'm not going to have time to get it done before graduation. So I made lots of calls today and talked to like my professor that's kind of helping me with my paper, and to my committee and graduate advisors. And if I wanted to graduate this spring like I had planned on, I would have to have everything done by next week. And I thought that I could. I thought that I was going to be able to have everything done by next week, but I can't schedule my thesis defense, and like my committee doesn't have enough time to like read my whole thesis and then give me feedback and then set up a defense and all of that. So it's just not going to happen. And so I was super disappointed for most of the day, but then I talked to my professor, who's super nice and super supportive, and I can still walk in May, thank goodness, and I can schedule my thesis defense for May, because by then they'll have enough time to read it and you know, set up questions and stuff for me, and then I can just extend it into the summer and submit everything, because you have to submit stuff to your department, but then also to the grad studies department, which is like the entity that gives you your diploma, I guess. So I can submit things to them over the summer. I mean, the baby will already be here, but I'll have all the work done already. I just have to do like some paperwork things, like just some submission things, and then I can still get my degree at the end of the summer. And anyone who does that still walks in May anyway, so it doesn't change anything for graduation, thank goodness. Like that's what I was going to be kind of sad about. So it might cost me a little bit more money, but this has been a 5-year journey and it just needs to be done. I just have to do what I gotta do to get it done. It's so funny though, I don't know how I forgot about the thesis defense. Like, I don't know, I was looking back at all my emails and stuff though, and like no one had ever brought that up, so I had this whole calendar of things, and that was just never mentioned for whatever reason. It wasn't on there. But when I was like 19 or 20, I took this biology class at a junior college, and you know, it was a class I was kind of nervous about. That's always one of your harder classes, you know, like your bio lab. And so I had this really, really nice professor, actually. She was kind of a younger lady, and I had a really fun lab partner, this girl named Marilena, and she was from Italy. She was like learning English and taking college level classes at the same time. She worked so hard. She was so inspiring. And then this professor was really cool too. She actually had 2 little girls, and actually they were in the first play that I ever directed, Holy Moses. That one was fun. I was like, I think I was probably 20 at that point. And I was still kind of like figuring out what I wanted to do and like who I wanted to be. And I knew that I wanted to be an academic. Like I knew that I wanted to go on and get an education, you know, get my degree, probably get a master's degree, and that I would spend a lot of time in school. It was a little harder for me to imagine like having a family and a husband and stuff like that. I hadn't met my husband at that point. And so, you know, I was just still kind of like trying to figure out how you would do this. And I remember that my professor told either the whole class this story. She might have just been telling me and my lab partner, because we ended up kind of all being friends. Actually, like, remember we had to do this experiment where you like crossbred flies, and all of our flies died. And like we didn't really have any results from our experiment, but somehow I still got an A in that class, so I don't know how that happened. But anyway, I remember her saying that she was getting her master's in biology while she was pregnant, I think with her first. And I remember this story about her, you know, defending her thesis, doing her defense while she was super pregnant, like 8 or 9 months pregnant, and standing in front of the panel and having to, you know, go into all the details of her research. And for some reason that picture has always been in my mind, and I like thought that was really cool. Like she was kind of the first example of somebody who like was married and had kids but was super smart, and she was a professor, and she, you know, it wasn't 2 different things for her to be like pregnant and a mom, but also an academic and a researcher and somebody who studies for a living. And kind of in the back of my mind, like I pictured myself doing that. Like I had this vision of myself, like maybe one day I'll be defending my master's thesis while I'm 8 months pregnant. And that's exactly what's going to happen. Actually, I'll be like 9 months pregnant, because it's going to be during the month of May, and I'm due on June 4th. So I'm going to be huge. I'm like, what am I going to wear to this thing? Like, you're supposed to be dressed kind of professionally. Like, I don't even know what's going to fit me at that point. That's like the only thing I'm worried about. But it's sort of funny to me that that's like coming true. Now that's really what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to finish my thesis like today, tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday. Like I am going to finish. I am. And then I'll do my defense, and it's kind of extra special for me too, because my baby is the great grandson of the person who I write about. I've mentioned this in a lot of other videos, but I write about Rothschild Francis, who was a civil rights leader in the Virgin Islands in the 1920s and 30s, and he was super amazing. I mean, as tedious as it is to write a thesis, every sentence that I write, every quote that I put into my paper from him, I'm just like, he was so cool. He was such an interesting person, and he was really impactful, and he made a huge difference in the Virgin Islands during a time when most territories of the United States were kind of getting screwed over. But he really stood up to the United States and loved democracy and loved the Constitution and loved the Declaration of Independence, and just wanted the United States to honor those documents and to treat the people of the Virgin Islands the way that the 13 colonies had asked to be treated by King George III in England. So anyway, I could go like on and on about Rothschild Francis, but you know, I'm going to be defending my thesis with the offspring of the topic of my thesis like right there front and center in my tummy. So I don't know, it's just so crazy. I just hope that he doesn't come early because I need to get all that stuff done first. So we kind of have a deal here. Like, you cannot come before any of that. You need to just be where I can keep a constant eye on you, and just you have constant food and everything you need, because I don't have time yet to do all the feeding and all that. You need to just stay in there until we're done. We can do this together. So if you are in this same position at all, I just want to encourage you that it sucks, but you can get through it. And you know, sometimes it just helps to know that someone did it. You know, it helps me to know that my biology professor did it, and she was like a really positive, happy person. She was a great professor. She was brilliant. I loved her kids. They were so cute, and she did it. And so that just kind of reassures me that, like, all right, I can do this. I can teach, and I can finish my thesis, and I can graduate, and it will be fine. It will be fine. I will have this baby, and we'll all get through this together. So for those of you who have done it already, kudos to you. It's nothing short of a miracle. And for those of us going through it right now, it'll all work out. It'll work out. It's just tiring and hard, but you know, the best things that you ever do in life are the hardest things. And it always seems impossible until it's done. But it will be done. It will be. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that this gave you a little bit of encouragement and just a little update too. So let me go figure out how to show you this belly.